check out my new latest acquisition. Ta-da! Konflikt 1947, or Konflikt 47. It's the starter set from Warlord Games. Let's do an unboxing review, shall we? And roll that intro, please. Well, I finally decided to get this starter set. It's about time that Warlord Games release a two-player starter set, and this is the current new edition. New design for the faction, but we haven't seen what's in there yet. But I had been always wanna. I'm currently collecting Konflikt 47 miniatures from the previous editions, and this is the one that just recently came out, and this is a two-player starter set. They never had a two-player starter set on the previous set. They always released them in along with their bolt action stuff. So that's a plus side for that starter set, because you can have like a bolt action army next to it if you don't like playing the sci-fi stuff, and you can go historical stuff. And I just recently finished my Soviets one, and they included me an army for my Soviet Konflikt 1947, and then also recently got my hands on the Japanese one, so I have like an army for the Japanese. That'll be the next project for me to work with. But this is the, as for this starter set, it's pretty decent. So let's see what's in the back, what you get. And here it is. Yep, a pretty decent starter set. You got like two walker types for the Axis and the new American Fireflies, I believe. I don't know if they're gonna replace it, but look at that. Those are plastic stuff along with plastic terrain, and the new decal sheets for both sides, and also the factions. And you got like okay, you got some resins here too, so it's basically limited to the hero. So you got two heroes and the multi plastic Firefly airborne infantry, and the 6-part Steppen heavy infantry. And you got the medium walker again for the linebacker, and another light walker for the Axis. So you got like the United States decal sheet and the Axis decal sheet, and you got like some plastic templates for pin markers and assembly guides, and you got one of those order dice and the rift dice. It's using the new rift dice mechanics, so you can use them up and to give your unit some special abilities, or it can go bad way for you. So it has like a, from what I can look and see in the battle report, they have ways how the rift die works. So I need to read on the manual to find out and actually have the game. But look at the designs for the mechs and the walkers. So now let us see what's inside the box, please. Let's do an unboxing. And here it is. And you look at that packing stuff. And then an A5 rulebook from in there. You got the A5 rulebook is wrapped up. Another dice bag, and you got a terrain in here, so that's neat. You can add that thing as for your terrains. And take that out. Oh, I can smell that box smell. And you got the hero set, so time to assemble that one. And you got the base, and as you can see, you have like everything in here from pin markers. And if you have any Konflikt 47 and you're box set, you will notice this. And here comes the dice bag. Always gonna need more dice bags, more dice, especially these rift dice. So that's very interesting. And you got the how do you get it set up in here, and more stands and bases. Even if a bases, I think that might be for the stuff in there for the larger models. And more decals and more tokens. And it's done by Mara again. Huh. What if this is actually a real person who does the wrapping? And here's the new decal sheet. It's strange because I'm currently working on a another heavy infantry for the US, the metal ones. They're giving you decals like this one, so I think there may be a lore change going on in there, but I think that's it. You got if you have any starter sets like this, like the Band of Brothers or the Pacific, you'll have these things in there. So whatever, you can just save that there, and you got more stands. And what item was this? Is it a quick start book? Ooh, looks like it is. Oh my god, sorry about that. It is a little quick start book. Little rules and assembly guide. Oh, they're even in a packet. That's neat. And yeah, they're even in a packet, a little mini packet. And the assembly guide. So it's, yeah, that walker, another walker for the Axis. And that's the new emblem of the Axis faction. So in this timeline, apparently they finally got rid of the Third Reich and got rid of Mr. Mustache Man, Mr. Austrian Painter. So they finally got rid of him in this faction, and it's now being replaced by the Green Volt. Ah, God, why did they change the name Green Volt? I don't know. I could pick a better faction name for that one. Yeah, I can pick a better name. So let's see what's going on, and let's go open up the book. And here is the book. After unwrapping that thing, it's pretty good. And pretty basic in here, and it tells everything for the new rules and what you see in here, all that stuff, and everything in the artwork. And after I took a little skim, I recognized many of the units from the previous editions are here. So if you guys are worried that they're not gonna mix him up here, they're here. So even bolt action units are included in the game. So that's good. That's very good. And you can add them up in here with your current units. So you are pretty set to play this game. And it tells you about the conflict and all that history. And it has a little history here too. So I know most of you are gonna get the main book of the bigger one, and I don't know if that's out yet, but if you do, recommend getting that book in here. So with that walkers, instructions, and even have the timeline in here, how the war was, how it started, and what's bio the factions, like how the United States is where they stand, the Commonwealth, Japan, and the Axis. So I recommend getting that one. So after that book review, I'm going to assemble them and do a final thought for this war game. So let me do that first. And now here is my force from the starter set, fully assembled and painted, including the terrain. And I think it took me a whole month to do it, but I finally did it. So assembling them wasn't that bad. For the Axis force, and after I was done with all the assembling and the allies units, the Americans, I just prime them gray and start from there. As for the walker, like the linebacker over here, he was a little bit kind of awkward to assemble, but not hard. Mostly, I would put like a, if I want to, I could have just put like magnets on some of the weapon systems. So his weapon systems are all there. I'm They're all interchangeable, so that's cool. Same thing with this Access Walker that came in here. All interchangeable, no magnets. So I didn't use any magnets. I used the friction to hold in everything, and it finally made it work. So for the purposes of the review, I just made it as much I can. I made it simple. I had a plan. I didn't do anything complicated. The Access Grenadiers, those the armor units, there. I thought at first I thought I want to copy the designs they're painting, but further examination I realized, you know what, I want to do my own way. So I kind of mixed them both from the manual, from the artwork they have, and it came out perfectly, and just a little bit of gunmetal on all that stuff and the same color. Here they are. I just like put everything in there. Definitely um has that Jinro Wolf Brigade look to it, like in that anime. Recommend you watch that one. And I gave him like those Panzer Faust in their shoulders, even the knives. I put it there in their shoulders, so I gave him some. I don't know if you can look at it, but it's in there. And as for here, I didn't see, I didn't even magnetize this, and I didn't even glue that thing with the base. So I made the base as interchangeable. It can be used by the walkers too, but I like this setup now. And here they are. It just put it right there, and it will stand on its own. And for the terrain, I just assemble them, paint them, because there are no instructions how to do it. So I just look at whatever they have and modify from there. And once I painted up, it was considered done. And I'm glad if I have extra more terrain for my bolt action in Conflikt 47. And the only unit that I did was to decal was the linebacker. The rest I didn't even bother putting decals on them, including the access walker. And for the shoulder guards for the fireflies, I recommend just painting them, and it will be good enough. And I just weathered most the part from the vehicles, from the walkers. And as for the fireflies, I might want to get me an extra one. They're eventually gonna have one for, I don't know, the introductionary box set. I have to look that up, and I might even actually turn them into for the Pacific campaign. I'm thinking like giving the Mac V SOG camouflage on them, because they kind of look like Vietnam was mixing with sci-fi and World War II in this one. So as you can see, for the plasma, that's not hard to do if you know how to do plasma weaponry in other wargaming. So I did that one. And I even have the metal ones. I even ordered those ones. And I know the weapon systems are a little bit up outdated, but it doesn't matter. And as for the walker, the only downside for that linebacker walker is they should have put a bolt joint on the arms of them. It would be much more easier to um, uh, work with. But oh well. So as for this, I will do a final thought on this review and see my opinion on it. Just give me one moment and I will start that. Well, as for my opinion, my thought, my final thought for this, my recommendation, get it. You are gonna have a fun time building this. And if you're a Conflikt 47 player and you want to add more collection to your army, this is another addition for their force, especially for the Americans with their Firefly units. This is excellent for adding up from your original metal ones. There's nothing wrong with the metal ones except they're limited to few special units like flamethrowers and the BAR. But I'm glad the upgrade is in here, so this definitely needed more punch for the Fireflies, so this is perfect. And don't forget, you got 2 hero units in here, and they look pretty decent. And by the way, I almost forgot the Americans. He looked like General Hawk from G.I. Joe, the way he was wearing that jacket, so that kind of reminds me of him. And you also got the terrain, so what can you complain about? The only downside from this new lore a bit is just the name of the faction of the Green Vault. I wish they kind of changed the name a bit. They could have thought a more better name for the name other than the Green Vault. I can give it like the Paradigm Order or Neo Access or something like that. Oh well, but that's it. You got decals, but as for me, I didn't. I only used the decals for my linebacker because I just decided to go freehand on them. So, but it's better than none, and it's a good set. So this is a recommendation for. I would give it a recommendation to get it because if you want to have to play Conflikt 47, and this is the perfect starter set. And there are more coming in. There's like the introductionary set, so a very smaller version than this. So that's that's basically a bunch of infantry on it. So I recommend you get that one too if you want to start that one, and you'll have fun with it. So I think this is the my opinion on it. So this is Deleon Francis 60 here, signing off, and happy wargaming, everybody. For more videos like this, hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment.